It all began with that signature smirk. Yep, Colin Jost. Yes, him. On Saturday Night Live, looking deadpan straight into the camera and dropping the line that blew everything sky high. Apparently, one of the terms in Trump's new UK trade deal is that we send Meghan Markle back, but only if she deletes her entire Instagram again. Oof. The studio audience cracked up, but underneath that laugh, a razor-sharp dig. A reminder, you can polish the crown all you want, but that shadow from your past, it lingers.
President Trump also announced a new trade deal with the UK. All that Britain demands in return is that we keep these two.
No! No! I refuse! I'm sick of it!
And just like that, the internet did what it does best. Remember, photos began swirling again online. Images from back in the early 2010s. A luxurious yacht, sunlight bouncing off deep blue waters, and there she was, or someone who looked an awful lot like her, lounging carefree, draped in glam, surrounded by men in crisp button-downs and oversized sunglasses. Now let's be clear, the pic didn't scream Meghan Markle in bold letters. No watermark, no tag, but the detectives of the internet, they clocked the faces, the time frames, the subtle little threads that, when pulled, started to unravel one very curated royal tapestry.
Elon built electric cars, he's going to Mars. Why is he even involving himself with Twitter? It would be like if the Prince of England gave it all up just to marry an actor from Suits.
Some people instantly recognized familiar faces from her Suits days. Others were drawn to the scene itself, the luxury, the vibe. This wasn't the energy of a hustling actress scraping together auditions. This was access, influence, wealth, power. Critics quickly jumped in. This wasn't luck. This was calculated, strategic. And honestly, that's what makes all of this burn even more. Because now, Harry's stuck in another country. No job, cut off from family, his kids across the ocean. It's giving trapped. And this isn't just about some old vacation pics. It's about what those photos represent. The distance between the image she sold and the truth people suspect. That gap is now a canyon, which circles us right back to Colin Jost. Oh, he wasn't done. That same SNL sketch, he called her out again, claiming Meghan reinvents her past based on who she's trying to impress. Yikes. That hit way too close, because that's exactly what people online have been whispering. Well, now they're yelling it. Reddit's on fire. Forums are stacked with receipts. We're talking facial recognition tools, timestamps, even guest lists from those yacht parties. Yes, guest lists. This isn't the tabloids anymore. It's regular folks with Wi-Fi, time, and a burning curiosity. What's even creepier than the resurfaced pictures? The silence. The eerie, calculated silence from people who used to be glued to Meghan's side. No comments. No repost. A few accounts scrubbed completely, deleted. Some images vanished. Others look altered. Like someone trying to rewrite history with a mouse click. Damage control? That's the running theory. And Meghan? Silent, not a peep, no legal threats, no public clapbacks, no Instagram story with vague quotes about truth prevailing, nothing. And for someone who's never shied away from lawsuits or press wars in the past, that stillness, terrifyingly loud. In a world where everyone's screaming online, silence doesn't feel classy. It feels guilty, and it's painting a picture that no press team can undo. The more these pieces are pulled from the digital rug, the more this whole narrative Meghan tried to bury looks like it was never buried deep enough. Looks like it was all a plan. And here's the chilling part. People are asking, if this is true, what else is? To some, the pictures weren't even shocking, they were just confirmation. The Meghan we know. The humanitarian, the speech giver, the sleek, polished royal might be a character. A role. One played very, very well, but a role nonetheless. Now, with this old footage clawing back into view, the cracks in that facade, impossible to ignore. One photo in particular has been everywhere. A Mediterranean yacht, gorgeous day, high-profile guests, some instantly recognizable, and center frame, a woman who, let's be honest, looks like Meghan stepped out of a time machine. It's not the image that's scandalous, it's the context. Who was there? The timing, the overlap with known faces from her past. It's too aligned to write off. And the fact that the photo disappeared from public view years ago, suspicious, doesn't even cover it. Then the whispers started. Deleted social accounts, vanishing friends, signed NDAs. Ever since she got engaged to Harry, people began noticing something odd, not just posts gone, but entire people. like characters written out of the show, co-stars, stylists, old acquaintances. Poof, either they disappeared or went dead silent. And silence like that doesn't just happen, it's orchestrated. Fans who once defended her are now struggling to connect the dots. Was she really the scrappy actress who broke into royalty against all odds? Or was she playing the long game? That's the question haunting every podcast, YouTube breakdown, and tea-spilling thread right now. And just when it couldn't get messier, guess who makes a cameo in the conspiracy rabbit hole? Prince Andrew. Yep, his name's being floated in connection to vague overlaps in social circles, with one particularly sketchy party photo now under a microscope. No solid proof, no smoking gun, but the pattern? That's what's got people squirming. Critics are pouncing. If she's all about truth and transparency, why not address this? Why sue over headlines but ignore this? The silence is becoming the story. And in this media age, silence doesn't just raise eyebrows, it lights fires. Just as Meghan tries to relaunch her brand, think glossy interviews, lifestyle lines, that polished rebranding push, the internet's busy blowing the dust off every skeleton it can find. What should have been a triumphant new chapter feels like a cover-up unraveling in slow motion. Her message of empowerment now being side-smacked as manipulation. Her narrative of rebellion against the monarchy recast as image crafting 101. The internet's hot take. Fred and Georgia joined throughout the course of the trial. The Kazos made a hot take, a hold-up house, everything, but their infinite political laundry is like a hotline. Fred and Georgia joined the riot. The internet Postmates have been glopped, saxed, and bagged. The riot army spends over 90 minutes trying to reestablish middle ear. From her point of view, the internet posts like a hotline need to get rid of a monarchy as the gods of wealth, unforgiveness. It's not just a photo, it's the 1,000 questions behind it. Why did it vanish? Why is no one talking? Why is Meghan usually the first to speak, dead quiet, and with no answers, people are writing the story for her? It's no longer what happened, it's was she hiding? When Colin Jost cracked that joke on SNL, he didn't just make people laugh. He shifted the narrative. That one punchline pulled back the curtain. Suddenly, Meghan wasn't the untouchable royal figure with the flawless backstory. She was vulnerable, human, maybe even calculated. And the audience, they felt it. That laugh, it wasn't just funny, it was knowing. As if we all collectively went, oh, so we're finally saying it out loud now? You know what that means. Once late night TV turns you into a punchline, it's game over. You're not sacred anymore. You're a topic, a talking point. Fair game. And this wasn't just online drama anymore. The mainstream picked it up. Not the photos. Oh no, too risky. But the whispers, the questions, the mystery around deleted posts, news headlines subtly shifting the tone, unanswered questions, digital cleanup, social media erasure. Even outlets that once coddled her image were now tiptoeing toward doubt. Carefully, of course, but doubt all the same. Then came the real wildfire, the citizen investigators. These weren't tabloid hounds or gossip columnists. These were ordinary people with internet skills, time, and motivation. They weren't chasing salacious scandal. They were chasing consistency and finding it. Facial recognition software matched faces across old event photos. Yacht GPS locations lined up with celebrity social check-ins. Deleted blog posts and long-lost Instagram captions found in the corners of the internet you'd never think to look. The receipts weren't explosive, but they were solid, and they were real. This wasn't just coincidence anymore. It was a web, and once you start connecting those threads, it becomes hard to deny, and Meghan's team, oh, they were clearly scrambling. Word on the street was that behind the scenes, they were working overtime. SEO pros pushing down old articles, PR teams flooding search engines with fresh, glowing content, platforms allegedly being contacted to blur names, untag photos, make things disappear. But this isn't 2008, it's 2025. You can't erase the internet. Every attempt to hide only fuels the fire. It screams, there's something here. And that is Meghan's real problem now, perception. People don't expect royals or celebrities to be perfect, but they do expect truth, authenticity, especially from someone who built her whole brand around breaking the mold, being the real one in the palace, the outsider who spoke truth to tradition. If she had just come out and said, yes, I had a past, yes, I partied, I was young, ambitious, and networking, most people would have clapped. Seriously, owning your story, that's powerful. But pretending it never happened, scrubbing history, letting the silence do the talking, that's not noble, that's manipulative. And the people who once rooted for her, they're starting to feel like maybe they were just part of the show. This isn't just a scandal anymore, it's an unraveling. Slow, relentless. One yacht photo, one muted friend, one missing Instagram archive at a time. The worst part? It didn't have to be this way. Meghan was the symbol of change, a biracial American woman smashing through centuries of royal tradition, a survivor of media abuse, a mom, a humanitarian, a voice for justice. But the moment people suspect that it was all polished performance, that's when admiration turns to skepticism. Now every past speech is being replayed with a new lens. Every Vogue interview picked apart. Every tearful confession about being unprotected. Compared to these resurfacing images and NDA whispers. And while Meghan remains completely silent, no statement, no interview, not even a cryptic post about truth or resilience, the story keeps writing itself. A story that's less about drama and more about control. And let's be real, control is the word here. Meghan's always been praised for her media savvy, her ability to shape a narrative. But what happens when that narrative no longer fits the facts? When the curated past starts leaking at the edges, the mask slips. And when it slips, people don't just get curious, they get suspicious. It's no longer about just one woman's choices, it's about trust. And once trust cracks, it never fully returns. Remember when she sued the British press over a private letter? When she launched a podcast about authentic voices? When she stood in front of the world and talked about transparency and being silenced? Well, now the silence is hers, and it's deafening. This backlash isn't fueled by tabloid gossip or jealous royals. It's coming from the ground up, from once loyal fans, from digital sleuths, from people who used to believe and now feel duped. And behind all of it, that one photo, one seemingly harmless snapshot of a woman, champagne in hand, yacht behind her, surrounded by high-profile men and influencers. Was it illegal? No. Scandalous? Not exactly. But in a story about image and integrity, that one picture tells 1,000 stories, and every attempt to bury it only makes it louder. So now the question is, what's next? Will Meghan address it? Will she finally speak? Or will the silence stretch on while her carefully built image continues to chip away? One frame, one hashtag, one eyebrow-raising Reddit post at a time. People aren't buying the rebrand. They're watching it implode. Because no matter how much rose quartz you market or how many empowered woman taglines you write on a vision board, you can't polish away the past forever, especially not when you spent years trying to pretend it never existed. And maybe, just maybe, that's the real betrayal. Not the yacht, not the friends, not the blurry photos or the whispered NDAs, but the fact that she wanted us to believe she was just like us. The underdog, the outsider, the woman who clawed her way up with nothing but grit and grace. But now it's starting to feel like the story was pre-written, polished, packaged. And when that realization hits, it hits hard. Suddenly the speeches about kindness feel scripted. The interviews about struggle feel staged. The Instagram posts about authenticity feel hollow. Because how can you be the poster child for honesty while silently scrubbing years of your own life off the internet? Colin Jost's joke wasn't just a dig, it was the spark. And now the whole thing is on fire. The public perception Meghan spent years shaping is crumbling, and it's not the press or palace doing it this time. It's her own silence. Even people who once worshipped her are stepping back. A question echoing across every social platform is, if this is what was hidden, what else might be? And no one's letting it go. Every time someone searches her name, those questions pop up. The yacht, the photo, the deleted friends, the odd timing, it's baked into the algorithm now. Meghan Markle is no longer just a name. It's a mystery. And the more she stays silent, the louder the curiosity grows. People want transparency. They want real. They want someone, anyone, to just tell the truth. And in a world where truth is currency, Meghan's running dangerously low. She had the power to control the story. But now, the story is controlling her. Every carefully managed appearance is met with side eyes. Every polished press release reads like damage control. Every cheerful new endeavor, shadowed by a past that refuses to stay quiet. What's unfolding isn't just a PR hiccup. It's a reckoning, a real-time deconstruction of a public persona that was once unstoppable. And it didn't take a tabloid or a royal scandal to do it. It took a joke, a yacht photo, and the cold, calculated silence that followed. Meghan was supposed to represent change, resilience, progress, but now she's becoming a case study in how carefully curated personas can collapse the second the cracks start to show. Not because she had a past, but because she keeps pretending she didn't. And in the court of public opinion, that's the one thing people will never forgive.